how to disassociate nursing and sleeping. Maybe you want to learn more of this because last night, on the 10th time that you got up to nurse your baby back to sleep, you thought, I just can't go on like that. Hey there, everybody. I'm here to teach you today about disassociating nursing and sleeping. I'm Dr. Sarah Mitchell. I'm a chiropractor by training, but really found my passion empowering parents just like you to teach their little ones to sleep and parent confidently day and night as a sleep consultant. We think that sleep should be this beautiful, natural, instinctual thing that just happens, but the drive to sleep, yes, that is biological, physiological. Our body needs it. It's something we need to survive. The way we sleep, it's actually a learned habit, which sounds weird to many of you, I know. But think about yourself. If I said to you tonight you couldn't sleep in your favorite position, and I'm going to take away your pillow, you're going to toss and turn tonight. You're going to be frustrated, but you will learn a new way of falling asleep. And that's what you're going to have to go through if you want to change the way your little one falls asleep from nursing to something else. There is nothing wrong with nursing to sleep in general. It's just that for many of us, it becomes hard to maintain. So I love nursing my son to sleep. He was so peaceful and beautiful. But then when he woke up every couple hours to do it, well, at the beginning, I kind of loved it because I just felt like so rewarded that I was meeting his needs. But then it started to take a toll because it's so hard to sustain that for so many months on end. So then I decided, you know what, this is no longer working for our family. It's too hard to maintain. I feel like when I looked at my son in the morning, he had little bags under his eyes. He was tired because he's waking up so much in the night. So I realized I had to teach him a new way to fall asleep. We call it sleep training, but if you follow me, you know that's a term that I hate because we train our pets. We teach our kids. So to be an independent sleeper, a kiddo that can be put down completely awake, they hang out in their crib, they do something self-soothing, rubbing their head in the mattress, sucking a thumb, something independent that they can do on their own to relax themselves to sleep so they can repeat that in the night when they wake up, which all humans do. All humans wake up in the night, but not all humans need to call for someone to help them go back to sleep. The kids who do that just don't know that they are capable of being self-sufficient just yet. You know, essentially the title of this video should be How Do I Teach My Little One to Sleep? AKA sleep training, or sleep teaching as we like to call it in the Helping Baby Sleep method, okay? Truthfully, our online class that covers this is 2 hours, so I'm going to give you a very abbreviated version of this, essentially, right? Now, the other thing is that when you're thinking about sleep training or sleep teaching, there's actually 5 pillars to the Helping Baby Sleep method. The first one we just discussed, understanding that sleep really is a learned habit. So yes, I can see how my child would be frustrated when I try and teach them something new or change the way they're going to fall asleep, especially because they're tired at the time that I'm trying to do this. The second pillar of the Helping Baby Sleep method is timing. So am I nailing the timing for naps and bedtime? Because putting kids down too soon or too late can really make it harder for them. The third pillar is one you are going to have to work on, which is becoming an intentional feeder. So when I bring out the bottle or the breast, am I offering it for fuel rather than to soothe? Am I getting full feedings in? You want to be an intentional feeder. My child comes to the breast of the bottle, drains one side completely, half the other side, takes those 3 to 4 or 5, whatever ounces it is, depending on your little person's age. So then I can use other parenting tools to help them fall asleep or respond to night waking because I know where those intentional feeds have fallen, that they're getting enough feed, and this isn't necessarily hunger. You can watch our other video about how to differentiate between hunger and fatigue. The fourth pillar of the Helping Baby Sleep method is really messaging and being consistent. So do I have a nice little bedtime routine set up? And am I responding the same way? So the first thing that you can do if you're nursing to sleep is creating your consistent bedtime routine. Cueing your child that sleep is coming. This should all happen in the space that they're going to be sleeping ideally. So you might come into the room, you hit your little music player, have a lullaby playing, cueing that it's time for sleeping. You might dim the lights, setting the stage for sleep. You might lie them down on the change pad, change their diaper, put them into their pajamas, put them in the sleep sack, and then maybe be reading a book, having some winding down time together in the space that they're going to be sleeping. Your feeding would be outside of that. It would be before that bedtime routine. It is not associated with sleeping. But now if you take that away, and let's say you're not ready to do the full sleep teaching yet, and putting them down completely awake and helping them develop those self-soothing skills, maybe you substitute that breast or bottle with rocking or bouncing. The catch here is that kids have certain expectations from certain people. So I have had a lot of moms come through our school and work with me one-on-one who've had these strong nursing to sleep crutches. And for a couple of days, what we do is we work on just bouncing or rocking to sleep. And your child will still fuss because you're changing what their expectation is of you, right? So there'll still probably be some tears, but here you are offering all your attention and help. So how hard they protest will be based on, one, your ability to nail timing, and then two, their temperament. Some kids are more flexible to change than others, and you might not know what you have yet. Or maybe you do, and that's why you're continuing to nurse back to sleep, because it just seems like too hard to change. The other thing you can do is start to promote a transitional object, something like this little bunny. What's the purpose of these? And you probably got some of these in your shower and you didn't know what they were. I like this one because it's quite small and it has different textures. So we've got some silk here on the ear, we've got some nubs on the fabric, we've even got some squares. Okay, so sucking. A lot of these kids have liked to suck on the breast to associate that with falling asleep. So they may start to suck on this. You can also rub it on their face, show how they can soothe, because if you think about nursing to sleep, you've got pressure on there. There's a lot of sensory things associated with sleep. You want to be thinking about, how can I recreate those to make change less dramatic per se? Okay, so you might start using something like this as a transitional object. Again, how well they accept this is dependent on their personality. Some kids are more flexible to change than others. Some kids will not take to that lovey until they realize that the boob or the bottle is just no longer available. You might also include your partner. So it might be too hard for your child to be so close to you and not nursing, but if you send your partner in, they're definitely going to fuss, right? But they have a different expectation. They generally know they can't nurse off that person. And so that person then can be rocking or bouncing or helping them sleep. If you feel like, I don't even want to do rocking anymore, I really want to help them develop those self-soothing skills, well, that's in our online class or in our book on Amazon. It's a much more in-depth, because how long do you let them cry for? How do you know if the cries are normal, right? What's your plan B? What's the worst case scenario? How long should I let this go before I pick them up or try to soothe them and try again? We have all of that available to you if you're looking for more directives and want to implement the 5 pillars of the Helping Baby Sleep method in full. You can also check out our other videos, should you stop nursing to sleep, and who will bottle-fed kids or breastfed kids sleep longer sooner. So you can check those out, and don't forget to hit subscribe to never miss a baby sleep tip.